everybody. Today we're going to talk about exterior angle theorem. Exterior angle theorem is still going to be working with triangles. It's just if you remember, exterior meant outside. So I'm going to show you a diagram in a second and you'll see what we mean by this. I would like you to take your notebooks out and put all these notes that I'm going to be talking about inside your notebook. So first we're going to start with the definition of exterior angle theorem. The exterior angle theorem is the measure of an exterior angle of a triangle which is equal to the sum of the measure of the two non-adjacent interior angles. There are a lot of vocabulary words here. Exterior meaning outside angle, then non-adjacent interior angles. If you remember when we talked about angles, we said non-adjacent means those are the ones that are not next to. Interior inside angles. So let me show you a diagram to see, okay, what does this mean? So as you can see in this diagram, I have angles 1, 2, and 3, and then I also have an angle 4. Angles 1, 2, and 3 are interior angles of this triangle. Angle 4 is exterior. So what this theorem says is the following. If I add angle 1 and angle 2, they will be equal to the measure of angle 4. Now please notice how angle 1 and angle 2 are not next to the exterior angle 4. So that's very important. So this angle is directly related to the sum of the two inside angles that are not adjacent. Now, how do we make that exterior angle? If you look in this particular diagram, all that we did here, we basically just extended one of the sides of the triangle and we created that outside angle. So let's look at an example. So this is a very typical exterior angle theorem problem where you are given two interior angles and then you are giving non-adjacent exterior angle. So now if we were to apply this to our theorem, we can say that this 4x plus 12 is equal to the sum of 2x and 70. So it would look something like this. This is exactly the setup. Now when we want to solve this equation, we have to make sure that we don't combine like terms. We already talked about this idea in class. 2x and 4x are on the opposite sides of the equal sign. So instead of combining them, we're going to subtract the smaller x value, which is 2x. So if we go minus 2x on both sides, you're going to end up with 2x left here. And that you're going to do the same here with 12. You're going to subtract 12 from both sides and you're going to get 58. And then the last step is just divide by 2, which gives us x equal 29. Now oftentimes, the problem is going to ask you also to solve for the given angle. In this case, this exterior angle 4x plus 12. So notice, you already have x, which is 29, and all you have to do is just substitute 29 in this expression 4x plus 12, and that will give you the value of the exterior angle, which you can see the process right here. So the final answer is 128 degrees. Now, does that really make sense? When I look at my diagram, I can see I'm working with an obtuse angle, and I did get I got a value that's greater than 90 degrees, which is a definition of obtuse angle. So I know I'm on a good track. Now let's look at a couple more examples. So you have to make sure you're writing this in your notebook, so you have a nice little reference when you study. So the next example is asking you to find a measure of the exterior angles shown. So again, notice the two interior angles, 75 and x, right here, are not next to my outside angle, okay? And I also have this expression for the outside angle, which is 3x minus 19. So the first thing I need to do, I need to look for this outside. I need to look for x. I have to solve for x because I have an x value here, I have an x value here. So I have to figure out how do I solve for x. Of course, we're going to resort to exterior angle theorem. We know that the two inside angles that are not next to my exterior angle, which is 75 and x, sum of those is equal to this expression. So here is the setup to solve for x. Again, x and 3x are on the opposite side of the equal sign, so make sure that you subtract the smaller one. You don't want to combine them. And then the same with negative 19. You have to add 19 to both sides. And then the last step is divide by 2. And now to solve for the exterior angle, all we have to do is just substitute in this expression. Substitute x value in this expression, and that will give us the value of the exterior angle, which is 122 degrees. If you need to pause the video at any moment, please do so. So you have time to write everything down, and then you can unpause it and continue watching once you're done writing all the notes. Okay, we're going to do one more example. Now in this example, you're going to have to find the values of x and y. So as you can see, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So I have two triangles. So now we have to start thinking, okay, what is given to me? What do I know? I have already mentioned to you guys in class that oftentimes you're going to get problems like this, and it's not going to necessarily say use exterior angle theorem, use triangle sum theorem, or all the other theorems that we're going to talk about in the future. You're going to have to kind of think, okay, what are all the theorems we learn? Okay, which one should I use here? So that's kind of the same scenario that we have here. So I'm going to see that I know these two angles. This angle is 51. The second angle is 8x plus 3. Now they're also giving me this exterior angle, 13x plus 9. So this is a classic example of exterior angle theorem. Okay, so I know that the sum of these two angles is equal to the exterior angle. And I'm going to set that up and solve for x. So that's exactly what this expression is showing you. So again, 8x and 13x are on the opposite sides of the equal sign, so make sure you subtract the smaller one, in this case 8x. Here you can combine some like terms. You have 51 and 3, so those can be added. And then at the end, we're going to divide by 5. So I get x is 9. Now, if I go back up, I see that I also have to solve for y. So this problem is not done yet. We have to solve for y. Now we have to think, okay, what do we know? We know x. What kind of relationship does this angle, 13x plus 9, and y have? So you got to see that actually those are adjacent angles, and they make a straight line. So they are linear pair. Why are they linear pair? Well, they make a straight line. What do we know about the straight line? We know that the straight line is measuring 180 degrees. But if I go 180 minus 13x plus 9 to find y, I still don't know how much this angle is. And this is where x equal 9 comes in place. So what you have to do, you're going to have to substitute this 9 in this expression. And from there, once you're going to figure out how much this angle actually is, and then you can subtract it from 180. So it's becoming a multi-step problem. So right here you can see we got 13x plus 9. We plugged in or substituted 9 for x. So 13 times 9 plus 9, and then we end up with 126. So this angle, this exterior angle, is measuring 126 degrees. But now to find y, remember we said linear pair. So we have to go 180 minus 126, and we find that y is equal 54. At this point, I want you to complete your notes, and there's going to be a handout that you're going to be working on. So please, if you have not grabbed one already, go by the door and grab a handout, and we're going to continue this lesson in class. Please let me know if you have any questions, and thank you for listening.